Time now for another vlog. And if you have a vlog suggestion that I've yet to do, be sure and check the vlog playlist first over on the vlogs channel. By the way, thank you so much to our 220 plus subscribers. I really do appreciate your support. And after you've checked the vlog playlist and you still have a topic that I've yet to go over, feel free and send it my way via the comments section, Twitter, Facebook, or Discord. And if you have an anonymous vlog topic, you can always DM that to me and just let me know you want me to keep it anonymous. That's fine. Just DM it to me via Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. All the links to the Go Burns Nation below in the description section. So last week I went in to go get a little test done, some blood work, as I like to do every few months in order to be a responsible adult. At least I try to be a responsible adult. Most of the time I am. Sometimes, yeah, but in different reasons, obviously. The good news is my blood work came back good for the STD stuff. So I'm still clean in that department. Negative, either way. It's good, it's negative, it's clean. Yes, DDF. So I thought that would be a good idea for a vlog to discuss the birds and the bees, or safe sex. Yes, I know, the S word. So if you're sensitive to that particular type of talk, I'm sure you're probably not watching the video anyways because it was in the title. So I guess we have that covered. So I'm going to try not to get too graphic, but we are going to go over things that I think is important for anyone out there that is active or will be active eventually, whether you're a teen, an adult. This is just stuff from my own personal experience. By the way, disclaimer, I am not a sex ed teacher. I'm just someone that happens to have been around the block a few times. So we're going to go over some things that I think that people should know about. And even if you are aware of all this, sometimes it's good to hear it again. And I guess that since you're still listening to this vlog, you're interested in what I have to say about this particular subject. First off, as I mentioned, it's important to be responsible whenever you're active. And the first way you can do that is by making sure that you're clean, by getting tested, blood work done, etc., in order to make sure that you're healthy, that you're, disease-free, DDF, drug disease-free, that's what DDF stands for. And it's not just for your own health, your own well-being, your own peace of mind, but also for a future partner or partners in order to make sure that you don't unintentionally infect them with something. Of course, there's always a risk whenever you are active of contracting something. And the good news is there's definitely a lot of those things that are now curable or treatable. A few aren't, but no matter what, you want to be smart and responsible when you are active. And hopefully most of you already are. So definitely get tested if you haven't done so in a while. I would recommend maybe once every 6 or 12 months, depending on how active you are. Get tested. I know it's a pain in the butt going to your doctor, getting blood work done. It sucks having blood drawn. It is no fun. My advice is if you're in the room and they're about to draw the blood, make sure you have like a bottle of water to drink afterwards. And if there's like a photo or a painting on the wall, just stare at the painting and get lost in it. If there's blocks or other objects, count the blocks, count the colors. Just, mentally put yourself somewhere else while they do what they do in order to give you the proper tests that you're going to need. So, yeah, I know it sucks, but it's, something you have to do when you're an adult. One of many things in order to be responsible. So we got that out of the way, the testing. The next thing you want to do is protection in order to ensure that you don't get infected. Well, in order to increase your chances of not contracting anything. And the best way to do that is through protection for you and your partner. One thing, condoms, obviously, prophylactics, that helps. It's not 100% guarantee, but it's definitely, a smart move, especially if you're with somebody that you're just seeing, FWB scenario, or dating. Yeah, you definitely want protection. And it's not just for diseases. It's also for heterosexual couples so that you prevent pregnancies Now, if you're trying to have a kid, that's a completely different story. I'm assuming that most of you that are watching right now are not in that interest. You have no interest in having a kid yet, and you should only consider having children with the right person and when the time is right. Other than that, you should always practice safe sex by protection, and birth control is also another form of fashion of that, as well as PrEP. A few other options are out there as well. And no, pulling out or some sort of rhythm technique are not safe sex. It's not. So whatever someone told you, that's not. Now, some people will be like, well, isn't abstinence a form of safe sex? Well, that is correct, because the safest way to make sure you don't catch anything or get somebody pregnant or you yourself get pregnant is by not having sex with anybody. But unfortunately, we live in the real world, and we don't live in this time period where courting used to exist, and most people waited till they were married before they had sex. There's still people out there like that, and if you're one of those people, more power to you. We all have different life choices, and I fully respect people's different beliefs. And I applaud people that choose, whether for religious reasons or moral reasons or personal reasons, to wait. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but that's definitely another way of protecting yourself from getting infected or contracting something or getting pregnant. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, virgins. Let's talk about that real quick. So there are definitely plenty of people out there that are virgins. And if you're a virgin, it's not a big deal. We were all virgins once. It's just the way it is. Okay? Don't worry about it. I know there's peer pressure out there, and there's always running jokes like, oh my God, I can't believe they're a virgin. I can't believe that. Don't look at it that way. The best way to look at it is that you're simply waiting for the right person to come along. And that can be very true if you're waiting because of religious reasons, because you want to wait till you're married first, or you simply are just waiting for the right person to come along in general before you fill up to taking the next step. And that is completely understandable. And hopefully you will also follow those other steps and make sure that person is also clean and also practicing safe sex before your first time. And you should never feel pressured into giving it up. Don't ever feel pressured. It should be with somebody you trust, somebody you obviously have feelings for, somebody that has feelings for you, somebody special, whether it's a husband, a wife, or a boyfriend, or a girlfriend, or a partner that you feel like being the first with. And you should only do it on your time. When you feel like the time is right, then it's good. It's important to talk about it with your partner, with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, if you are a virgin and they're not. Or maybe you both are virgins. And in that case, there's no rush. No rush at all. Just take your time, get to know each other, build up your relationship, your friendship, that bond between you two, because that's really the more important thing here that we're going to discuss. That's what really makes sex good. Is that bond, is that friendship, is that relationship that you're building with another person. And whenever the time is right, then you'll be ready. And hopefully you'll find the right person to have that special moment with, or hopefully it'll last longer than a moment. But anyways, you always want to make sure that whether it's your first time or if it's a old hat for you, or if you've already been around the block a few times, you always want to make sure that it's consensual, that there's no pressure, nothing else happening that's forcing you or unintentionally forcing your partner into having sex with you. So always make sure that it's consensual from your point of view and from their point of view as well. Because sometimes, you meet somebody and say you're at a bar, you've had a few to drink, they've had a few to drink, or you've had something else entirely besides alcohol. It's your life choices. I'm not judging. And you end up sleeping with them, and unfortunately they end up having some sort of remorse, and unfortunately it's very possible you get in trouble for that, even though at the time it seemed like you both were consenting adults. Just make absolute sure that you're consensual, that you're not too drunk, not too plastered, that you understand what you're getting yourself into with this other person. And just make sure that they are also understanding that, this is a consensual thing. Person A and person B are agreeing to do this, so that even if afterwards you never see each other again, hopefully at the end of the day, it won't lead to some other legal issue that pops up. And also make sure that the person that you're with is of the correct age. If you're an adult, especially make sure that's the case, because that's the last thing you want. You don't want to end up with somebody underage. No. Just say no. And in different states, different countries, the age of consent is very different. But in whatever the situation may be, always make sure it's consensual. Always make sure when you're an adult that it's also a fellow adult that you're consenting with. And if you're underage, do not become involved with an adult. Stay within your age bracket just to keep it safe. Even if somebody's, talking nice to you, telling you all the right things, flattering you, flirting you, just remember they're an adult. There's a line that should not be crossed. So it's a very tricky situation. And to be honest, it would be better if most people waited till they were adults. Admittedly, I did not wait till I was an adult. No, I did not. I was in my early teens with my first time. But at the same time, I would say that teens should be with teens. Responsible, consenting, safe protection. And adults should remain with adults. Next, let's move on to my opinions about monogamous relationships as opposed to random hookups, partners, one-nighters. From my experience, I think that being in a monogamous sexual relationship is far better and safer and enjoyable than random hookups, random partners, one-nighters. For one thing, obviously, it goes back to being safer, feeling comfortable, that trust, that bond, that friendship, relationship you've built up with this other person. And it also makes intimacy between you and them far more enjoyable, and the pleasure's a lot greater whenever you have somebody that you're with on a regular basis, because you're getting to know them. At first, it may be a little awkward because your first time with them, you don't know exactly what they like or don't like. And then eventually, as you get more acquainted with them, more familiar, you get an idea what they're into, what they're not into, what they like, what they don't like, what you don't like. And then you figure it out. You sort out what you guys both mutually enjoy and the best way to turn each other on, stimulate each other for a far more enjoyable and satisfying experience. So sex is a lot more than just the act itself. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people fail to realize. They think about, pornography, adult entertainment, and it's all about sex. And yeah, it is pleasurable. I mean, that's the way we're designed. That's the way we're wired. Our hormones to want eventually, when we reach a certain age, to be with somebody. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't matter who you're with as long as you're enjoying the experience. But from my point of view, it is much better to actually be with that special somebody. It's like I said, everything that I've talked about. It's about somebody you like, somebody you care about, somebody you love, somebody who feels the same way, someone you've already built something special with. And maybe you're just boyfriend and girlfriend. Maybe you've only been dating for a month or for a few months. Or it doesn't matter. As long as you have something there to build on, a friendship. You have mutual attractions. Because, at first when you meet somebody, there's the physical attraction. But then you end up finding more about that person. Similar likes, the chemistry. And when you have all that, then it definitely makes sex a lot more enjoyable experience. And just because you're with somebody, you should still obviously practice safe sex with them. Because you want to believe that they are also faithful. And hopefully you both have already been tested to make sure that you both are in fact not carrying any diseases or unintentionally infecting each other with something that neither one of you actually want. And it goes back to also when it comes to, hetero couples, it comes down to making sure that if you're not ready to have a kid, that you reduce the risk of pregnancy. So that's definitely something you have to be mindful for when you're with somebody, especially when it's a guy and a girl. Yeah. Our hormones and basically getting in the mood can result in us making bad decisions. And I know this personally from a lot of choices that I've made over the years, that you just get in the mood. And unfortunately nowadays, because there's random hookup, dating apps out there, you kind of get in the mood. You're single, you don't have anybody, and at the very least you'll want something for the night, even if it's for just like a few minutes or a few hours of joy. And then you just take what you can get in that department. And most of the time, you probably wouldn't end up with that person to begin with. If under normal circumstances, if you actually went out on a date with them and actually sat at a table at a coffee shop or a restaurant and you got to know them, and then you came to realize that you two really didn't have that much in common anyways, besides the fact you both want some, that's not really a good way to build something special. Just because you both want it, it's not enough. For the moment, it'll be enjoyable. You'll like it. And hopefully you're both disease-free, so you don't end up with something else that neither of you really want. Hopefully you're smart about it. But yeah, our hormones, our drive can lead to bad decisions. Like I've said, I know this to be true on a few examples. And the best thing you can do, and I'm just going to be completely blunt here, is in order to resolve those particular moods, desires, cravings, if you don't have anybody, I would just suggest self-pleasure, a little self-healing, masturbation, if you want a more technical word for it. Yeah, I would recommend that instead, until you actually find somebody that you actually want to be with, somebody that you like, somebody that you can get along with, somebody that you enjoy a conversation with, someone you can find a common interest with. Yeah, that's my advice, is to make sure that you're smart about all aspects surrounding safe sex. Because when you're out there sexually active, you're basically running the gauntlet. It's a risk. There are percentages, the possibility of catching something. Now, it's very possible you could end up with, say, 10 or 100 people and you never catch anything. But it's also possible that you go with one person, just one person, and you get something. It's a crapshoot. It's a gamble, and it's a gamble that ultimately is not worth it. And like I said, I know how it is. It's the resistance, the temptation is there. It's hard to resist that, especially when you don't have anybody that you're involved with. When you're single and alone and you're not in the mood for a relationship at the moment, but you're in a mood, right? Trust me, like I said a moment ago, the best solution to that is to self-heal, to just take care of that situation yourself, to resolve it on your own. Yeah, because then you go out, you go to a bar or you go to an app, and you just take whatever comes your way. And that's never a good thing, because here's something to bear in mind. People can say they're clean. They can say they have no diseases on an app, but there's no way of determining whether or not they're telling you the truth or not. Now, you would like to believe that they're being honest, and maybe a lot of them are being honest. Hopefully that's the case. But there's also catfishers out there, people that use fake photos, lie, and yeah, that can always lead to something very bad. You never know who you're dealing with on one of those online dating hookup apps, so be very careful. Then again, you never know who you're dealing with in real life too. And it's hard to meet somebody. I'll be first to admit that it's difficult to meet somebody in real life because, A, a lot of people are already taken, especially if it's someone you're interested in. And 9 times out of 10, whenever I come across somebody I'm interested in, usually they already got somebody. They already have a significant other, which sucks. It's not fun. And if you're into them, there's a very real possibility they may not be into you. So I understand the difficulty in trying to get into a relationship. We've vlogged about it before. And I don't really have an answer to it. I wish I did. I wish there was some sort of solution, whereas married couples or engaged couples, they wear a ring. Maybe single people should wear some sort of like logo, like an S logo on their shirt, like a lapel pin that has an S on it that says, "Hey, I'm single." I don't know what the solution is. I think I've mentioned this before in a previous vlog a while back. But you want to be smart. You want to be responsible, even if you are active. That's why I thought it would be important to bring up this particular topic. I know it's a touchy issue, and it's something a lot of you may not want to talk about. It's something maybe some of you have heard about already. And those of you that are still listening, I appreciate that. And the reason why I do it is because I like to open myself up to you all that take the time to listen to my vlogs or watch my vlogs, whatever the case may be, in the hopes of informing you and inspiring you and maybe even educating you. And hopefully, my advice will prove beneficial for you if you are active or planning on becoming active in the future. And like I said, if you're a virgin, don't worry about it. Don't worry about this. When the time comes, the time will come. Don't feel pressured by your friends or by TV or movies. Just wait till the right person comes along. Just wait. Get to know them. Let them get to know you. And when you feel like the moment's right and you're both consenting and you feel like this is the person that maybe you're not going to end up spending the rest of your life with, but at the very least, this is the person you're wanting your first time to be with, just be smart about it. Make sure you're both clean, especially them if it's your first time, and make sure you practice safe. So safety first, and hopefully, just hopefully, you won't run into any trouble down the road.